skills teacher at Crockett High School. We had the privilege this year of having VSA come to our campus and teach a course in media arts. We selected students from our life skills department and from our special education department to be part of that class. Well, socially, there was a tremendous impact the class had. We had one, I'm going to give you some particular students. We have one particular student who would not leave the classroom with his teacher all day long. He sat with one teacher all day, too nervous to go to any class, too nervous to eat lunch in the cafeteria, too nervous to get in the hall. He took the class. The very first day he came, he stood in the hall, and the teacher said he's not going to come in. So I went into the hall and I said, John, if you don't get out of the hall, I'm afraid the principal is going to come and pick you up for being out in the hall when you shouldn't be. So why don't you just step inside the classroom so you won't get in trouble and you can just stand there. So once he stepped inside the classroom, he was interested in what was going on, and by the end of the class, he participated in a movie, in the Titanic movie that we made, and interacted with all of the students. So that was one example. Another example, a young lady who has a speech problem and would rather sign her answers than to speak, began by signing things, and her, if you don't know sign language, well, you don't know what she's saying, and by the end of the class, she is talking. It's sometimes hard to understand her, but she's confident in herself that she can convey what she wants to say with words and not just with sign language. So I actually teach her in academic classes, and she's talking more in those classes than she did before. So it carries over to her other classes, not just new media arts. So those are a couple of very specific examples, but every child gained confidence and was much more willing to stand up in front of the class and other people and speak. So that was a tremendous advantage they had by being a part of the class. Academically, they experienced something that they had never experienced before. And I find that students who have had English all their life, they've had reading, they've had math, and no matter what you do with it, when they come into your class, they have this preconceived notion that, oh, this is English, I'm not going to be able to do it. But if you give them something brand new that they've never done before, it's like a clean slate and they're ready to jump in and try. So there wasn't anything that they experienced in the class, art, movies, photography, that they had any experience academically before. And so they were ready to try it, and that also carried over to their other classes. They have a lot of confidence now that they can do this, so now maybe I can do English or math.